It's interesting. I'm sitting here. I'm watching. I thought it was from Ratliff. I'm watching a football game from last week. It's Central Washington and Permian Basin, and yeah, it's fun to play football when you do it right. Um, if you don't do it right, oh, it's miserable. The coaches can be complete abusive, aggressive, arrogant, militarized type pricks, and they make your life miserable, make all the kids' lives miserable, fighting over a position, fighting to win because we got to win because winning's not any the only it's the only thing. It's it's not everything. It's the only thing, and all that crazy Lombardian type crap bullshit that these people do. It's like, how about forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal faithful peace, right? You don't have to worry about winning or losing. Share, care, give in accordance to need, built to last, and you don't have to worry about winning or losing. You understand love, and you're loving and being loved. You know, that's what men do. That's what men of character do. That's what courage is all about. You get people on TV doing commercials talking about character. It's like, you do know that I'm on YouTube, and my access to the world is limited by people that put out these commercials, right? And that I'm correcting artificial general intelligence and quantum computing because there's a flaw in design, because it's based on brains that are like yours. Okay, do you understand? Just so you know. Okay. And it says in all the religious stories that there's a man named Earl who's the vocal point, who's born of Ralph and Mary, and the Book of Revelation, all that. I explain it. Okay, and then so they're still doing genocide operations. And these people can't. If they could stop what they were doing, they would. Okay, but they obviously can't because it's like a drug addict. And you know, um, you get people. What if they end up getting us all killed? Yeah, there won't be anybody around sitting around to tell stories about it. And I remember back in the day. So don't worry about it. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Have faith in God. Have faith and jump. Judah Krishnamurti, the man hanging from a cliff, praying to God to save him. And have faith and jump. Right. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Have faith and jump. Okay, do you understand? No. I think most people do. They'll sit there. You're talking about that. You guys. I sat there and watched this thing called "I've Had It" with these two bitchy blonde women that consider themselves liberal and anti-racist, right? And they're sitting there critiquing and criticizing this guy who won the contest over who kills people better and more stylishly and more intelligently with their money, right? And their technology. And they're talking about the way he eats, and he's gonna get sick and die, and it's like, well, yeah, that's entirely tangible. People that do drugs and alcohol get sick and die from drugs and alcohol. People have to pay extortion to live here and can't compete and buy fentanyl and take it and die because they hate life, because it sucks, because of assholes. And given the dynamic of the expected activity, that's conceivable. It's understandable how people check out. You wake up in the morning and people are spraying pesticides outside to maintain a job, to pay their bills, to live here, for genocide operations to kill people that don't think too good. And you get, God dang, this technology really has to kill the people at Halliburton, Northrop Grumman, and Lockheed Martin. It really does. It's going to have to eventually find a way to isolate, contain, and exterminate these crazy ass motherfuckers. And then we don't have to listen to "I've Had It" anymore. These two bitchy blondes. Well, fuck, can you believe he... Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that he's an asshole who doesn't want to get vaccinated. Well, because I have a vaccination and I have a liver the size of a football. And it's slowly but surely cleaning itself out because it's painful, right? And I stayed in that condition of painful because it affects so many people. And I wanted to help people emotionally get through because I'm the spirit of Yahweh. And then I went as far as I could, and then now I had to just focus more on me and less on other people and trying to talk them through this hell. And, live the Lord's Prayer, then you won't have to get vaccinated to survive disgusting economic activity that the liberals will engage in with the conservatives, because they're all playing genocide games because they can clone and want to put their master brains on robots. And you're like, God damn, they're fucking nuts. Okay. You can't imagine as a sane and rational person that has faith in God, you can't think these people up. You can't invent them. But you go watch a video game and you go watch a movie and you go, God damn, there they are. They're telling you about themselves. Fuck. Okay. They're fucking crazy, right? And so, yeah, and I don't watch it. That's the thing. You're so clueless. Why would I want to watch people that want to clone and think any kind of sexual manipulation through technology and money is okay because it's how animals behave, because they have no faith in God, right? Why would I want to watch that? Why would I want to play video games about that? I don't play Grand Theft Auto. I don't play Assassin's Creed. I don't play Call of Duty. I play the football games, and I won't play the new ones because they have NIL, and I hate. That's why Madden, I turn off the salary cap thing, because I hate the whole salary thing. Okay. The G generation of the players' talents till they get older and retire, I understand, because that's life, right? So that's just part of life, and you got to replace them with newer kids that aren't destroyed physically by economic conflict and beating the hell out of each other for money, right? And so I understand that too. And the thing is you get out there, you have some fun, and after a while, as you get older, it doesn't get as much fun anymore because it's harder to do, because your body, it's just natural attrition given to us by the glory of grace. And so we don't fucking fight and kill each other. We don't destroy our planet through our aggressive activities. We have what's necessary to quote unquote survive through loving one another and life sacrifice. It seems like a primitive, archaic, aggressive, violent dynamic, but that's not the case. It's been 6 months, 8 days, 12 hours since you went away. It's just not the case. What the case is when you can live in balance, harmony, and understanding, and appreciate what's given to you by God, things are a lot less archaic. You can watch the animals and say, boy, I'm glad I'm a human being. I can build a house. I can build it well and healthy and up high. I can monitor the activities, keep the place clean, and keep, the spiders and a lot of the other things that could cause me problems at bay, the snakes, the whatever, respect the animals because they all have and then teach my kids to respect and understand and not to be overly aggressive, violent, selfish, or, overly inquisitive either. Studying animals too much and watching the things that they do makes you act more like an animal and less like a human being. And so the more you sit and watch the way animals behave, it's one thing to sit there and realize, okay, I have to slaughter certain cows because I understand exponential growth and what I need to maintain a proper herd. Okay. But enjoying the process of the kill is bad brain chemical addiction. And you're not doing it properly, and you're not halal, and you're not kosher, and you're not hadith, and you need to get the hell out of here. You become a sick, twisted animal instead of a human being. And it reflects, and the thing about it is you think it's always just that nerdy kid that's like Professor Crowley. No, it's also that really sexually attractive kid that plays football and likes beating the shit out of the people and laughs when he does it. And it's funny because I can kick his ass faster than he can suck his own dick doing yoga. Spam! What the fuck just happened? The energy of people that don't want to be bullied and connect in prayer to be protected by a good person from bad people goes through me. They don't give it to you. Okay, Voldemort? It's not yours. So when you talk about God, Chinese know this. Why do you think the Chinese have removed God and religion from the dinner table and make it philosophy and everybody agree to my philosophy? So they can get their technology, past, present, future operate at the same time. They can get their technology to get everybody to comply to their demands of bullying because people have to accept it or they kill them. Okay. In our society, it went differently. The Romans turned this molecular similitude of myself into a god to keep the poor people safe from the bully because that's what the poor people wanted. Same thing in China. But in China, you can't keep yourself safe from bullies if you give in to bullies. And say, okay, you can dominate over me with money and stuff like that. I don't want to be poisoned and ninjutsu. And they learned a lot from the Japanese. They more from the Japanese than the Japanese learned from them. The Japanese just ran away from them because they were bullies and then became worse, insidious, poisoning, manipulative, bitchy bullies than the Chinese. And then the Chinese, when they were occupied, learned more from the Japanese than, and then the Americans. Brain chemical addiction. But it's all brain chemical addiction. Okay? When you do things that make you feel powerful and more powerful than other people that are given life by the power and glory of God. It's all brain chemical addiction. It's bad brain activity that is a threat to your own existence, and the brain that is given to you by the glory of God. When you negate the glory of God with the delusions of the brain, then you become a threat to the existence of the brain. It's not that hard. Yeah. So you think maybe which school, Central Washington or Permian Basin, has professors that somewhat think like this, but won't talk about it publicly because they're afraid of being tortured and murdered like Earl Parsons in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Okay, go kiddo. It's hard for me though because I haven't been to Ellensburg. I've been to Wenatchee. We went past Ellensburg. I've been to Yakima. I had a classmate played quarterback at Central Washington University. His name was McDaly. Yeah, he had a strong arm. He could throw the ball real fast and hard and stuff. He was an ass. Jeff Sigmund at Deer Valley. Yeah, he was an ass too. I never met the quarterback kid at Las Cruces High School. The kid who played quarterback when I was at Mayfield was a young man named Jerriel Hamilton, and he was a real kind person, and he was a good guy. And most of the jocks at Mayfield when I was there were pretty good kids. And that's why I still root for Mayfield, and they're my team here in Cruces. Most of the kids, because they had the kids from the projects and from the fort. And those were kids that were in tough situations, being economically bullied or were bullied by other jerks and jocks and stuff. So, my best, and a lot of the kids the reason why the kids at Mayfield the jocks weren't that big of bullies because the kids from the project went to the school. They didn't want to get shot or killed by the kids at the projects. So at Cruces, could be snotty and shitty and they had the Klan people with the guy from the Ku Klux Klan that taught there and all this snotty and the jerky and the elitist at Cruces High. But at Mayfield, you had the military kids and the kids at the projects, and the jocks could not bully because the kids at the projects would fuck you up. That's what happened. So I was always particularly fond of Mayfield as opposed to Cruces. The dynamic was had better checks and balances at Mayfield. I don't know if it still does, but it did back then. Okay, I think it kind of shifted to Oñate because you had poor kids up there too, and you had the military brats. The military brats stopped going. So the dynamic kind of changed a little bit at Mayfield once Oregon Mountain or Oñate, whatever you want to call it, was built. That's the way love goes, babe. That's the music God made. Anybody else like Lefty Frizzell? I like Lefty Frizzell too. There's the little band kids. They make football fun. Yeah, the band. Yeah, you can't have the dancers without the band. If you have no band, they're dancers. It's like you're just dancing. It's like, okay, but you need music to dance. So you need the band. It's the band that it makes football cool. You smell the grass. That's why I don't like that fucking carpet they play on. You smell the grass, you hear the band, and you go, oh, we're going to have fun. We're going to play football. Okay, guys. I love you, man. We'll talk later. All right, peace out.